Shock, China's new energy vehicle sales surpass 50%. China's automobile market has just witnessed a landmark event. The sales of new energy vehicles have exceeded those of fuel vehicles. According to official Chinese data, from the 1st to the 14th of this month, new energy vehicles retailed 260,000 units, with the passenger car market retailing 516,000 units, accounting for 50.39%, officially breaking through the 50% mark. Just as Kodak film was mercilessly phased out by digital cameras, the quality of film cameras was indeed very good, but with the development of digital technology, the image quality and functionality of digital cameras have far surpassed film cameras. Digital cameras can capture higher resolution, more vivid, and more realistic photos, and they also offer the functionality of instant preview, instant editing, and instant sharing, greatly improving the efficiency and convenience of photography. At the same time, the cost of digital cameras has gradually decreased, becoming the choice of ordinary consumers. Similarly, as traditional media is gradually disrupted by the new media of the Internet, fuel vehicles are facing the challenge of being replaced by new energy vehicles, and the automotive market is undergoing a major reversal. The penetration rate of new energy vehicles finally breaks 50%. In the world's largest car sales market, where car sales can determine the life and death of a car manufacturer, the sales of new energy vehicles have been soaring, with a year-on-year increase of 32% from the 1st to the 14th of this month. The cumulative retail sales since the beginning of this year have reached 2.032 million units, a year-on-year increase of 34%. From 2005 to 2015, it took 10 years for the penetration rate of new energy vehicles in China to break through 1%, which can be considered quite slow. However, from 2016 to 2019, in just over 3 years, the penetration rate increased to 5%. And from 2020 to 2024, in just over 4 years, the penetration rate soared to 50%. This is a leapfrog development, completing the national planning target 11 years ahead of schedule, a speed faster than a rocket. In contrast, traditional fuel vehicles are in disarray. Especially joint venture brand fuel vehicles, after dominating the Chinese market for many years, are experiencing a historic retreat. In just the past March, the once dominant Honda Accord sales plummeted by 72.6% year-on-year, the Toyota Camry's sales plummeted by 59.2%, and the Volkswagen Bora, Toyota Corolla, and Honda Fit, known as God cars, also saw declines of over 50%. Some joint venture fuel vehicle sales in March plummeted by more than 50%, indicating that the automotive, electric advance and oil retreat has broken through an important threshold. This is not only an important threshold for the popularization of new technology but also a psychological threshold for consumers to accept new energy vehicles. In the classic communication studies work, Diffusion of Innovations, American scholar Everett proposed an innovation diffusion model that divides the process of consumer acceptance of new technology into 5 stages. The first stage involves a small number of innovators who take risks to try new things. The second stage sees a few early adopters trying out the new technology. The third stage is when the early majority follows suit. The fourth stage is when the relatively conservative late majority finally takes action, and the fifth stage is when the laggards, who are behind the majority of consumers, follow. The penetration rate of new energy vehicles reaching 50% means that Chinese consumers' acceptance of new energy vehicles is crossing the third stage, and will soon attract a large number of consumers who have been on the sidelines. Only when new technology is recognized and accepted by a large consumer group will it truly enter the popularization period. Of course, not all new technologies will be recognized and accepted by consumers. In Rogers' innovation diffusion model, there is another important threshold called the chasm, also known as the valley of death. If it cannot be crossed, the promotion of new technology can only be abandoned halfway and cannot be popularized. This valley of death occurs between the second and third stages of innovation diffusion, corresponding to about 16% of the consumer population. When promoting new technology, it may encounter the valley of death. For new energy vehicles, the valley of death would appear when the penetration rate reaches about 16%. China's new energy vehicles successfully crossed the valley of death, and the timing was in August 2021. The penetration rate of new energy vehicles crossed the valley of death in August 2021, and it was from 2021 that China's plug-in hybrid technology saw significant upgrades, driving the sales of new energy vehicles into a fast growth channel. Chinese brand plug-in hybrid models have dealt a fatal blow to fuel vehicles. Compared to fuel vehicles, plug-in hybrid models have stronger performance, less fuel consumption, and lower usage costs, forming a technological suppression against fuel vehicles. As academician Ouyang Ming of the Chinese Academy of Sciences said, plug-in hybrids encompass all the functions of fuel, plug-in, range extension, and pure electric, and are truly all-rounders. After Chinese domestic brands significantly reduced the prices of plug-in hybrid models, the market share of joint venture fuel vehicles was quickly eroded. 2. Stagnation in fuel vehicle technology updates. The penetration rate of new energy vehicles breaking through 50% means that the mainstream consumer group has already readily accepted plug-in and electric new technologies, and green travel solutions have been widely praised. For new energy vehicles, consumers have shifted from curiosity, doubt, and observation to liking and actual purchase. Fuel vehicles are in a predicament, and the core reason is the long-term stagnation of technological innovation, with a lackluster product strength. Over a decade, there has been no substantial technological progress in internal combustion engines and transmissions, and it is widely believed that fuel vehicle technology has entered the end of its life cycle, with a sharp contraction in related research and development resources from major manufacturers. Moreover, traditional fuel vehicles are also unable to cope with the wave of intelligence sweeping the automotive industry, while electric vehicles have obvious advantages in linear control, response speed, and control precision, making them natural platforms for intelligence. Nobel Prize-winning economist Richard Thaler said, "Humans experience life through change, and new energy vehicles continue to showcase technological updates, becoming faster, more economical, and smarter." In contrast, fuel vehicles remain unchanged, and people's interest in fuel vehicles is fading, making the decline of fuel vehicles inevitable. With the popularization of new energy vehicles, the residual value of Chinese fuel vehicles is also declining, and prices in the second-hand car market are collapsing. This further illustrates the market's preference for new energy vehicles and a pessimistic attitude towards the future of fuel vehicles. The penetration rate of China's new energy vehicles exceeding 50% is not just a numerical breakthrough, it is also a turning point of an era. China's leading brand BYD continues to lead in the first quarter of this year. Even though the sales base in the first quarter of last year had already exceeded 500,000 units, it still managed to achieve a year-on-year increase of 15.2% from January to March of this year. And the related industry chain has also developed vigorously. Chinese new energy vehicles, with their advanced technology, unique design, and excellent performance, have fully surpassed traditional fuel vehicles in terms of power, quietness, and intelligence, representing a dimensional reduction strike against fuel vehicles. These innovative products and technologies have also announced to the world the rapid development of Chinese automotive brands under the drive of technology, as well as the rise of Chinese automotive brands on the global stage. It can be determined that once the penetration rate exceeds 50%, the entire market will be quickly disrupted, and new energy vehicles will quickly replace fuel vehicles to become the mainstream of the market. China's automotive industry will move from being 100 years behind to leading the world now. Historical stories are constantly being repeated. In 2024, China's new energy vehicles will, like the Apple iPhone of the past, disrupt the entire world, just as it did to Nokia. The United States, which claims to be the world's number one, has only Tesla as a new energy vehicle, while there are more than 10 Chinese brands in China that are competitors to Tesla. We will witness the birth of a new era of automobiles. For a deeper observation of China, please stay tuned to this channel, and we will see you in the next episode.